Hey warriors, welcome back to the channel. I once watched my best friend slowly destroy himself just because he always wanted to be the good guy. He gave everything he had. He forgave everyone. He sacrificed his own peace for people who couldn't even remember his name. 3 years later, I saw him again. This time, he wasn't broken. He wasn't soft. He was ruthless. And he told me something I will never forget. He said, "The world didn't change. I did. I just stopped being easy to break." That sentence stayed with me. Because deep down, I realized it wasn't only his story. It was mine too. And honestly, it's probably yours as well. Right now, there are two versions of you living inside you. Version 1 is the one who keeps explaining, keeps apologizing, keeps tolerating nonsense, and keeps hoping people will change. You bend over backwards just to be understood, respected, and loved. But the more you give, the less they value you. Then there's version 2. The quiet one. The certain one. The one who doesn't argue, doesn't beg, doesn't chase. They simply remove themselves. No noise. No drama. No guilt. You've been living as version 1 for too long, and it's slowly destroying you. It has made you soft in moments where you should be sharp. It has made you overly kind in situations where you should have been calculated. Niccolò Machiavelli once wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." And he wasn't encouraging cruelty. He was talking about control. He was talking about knowing when to stop being the person who keeps breaking for others. Today, I'm going to show you how to awaken version 2. The ruthless side of you. The version Niccolò Machiavelli described. The one people can sense but can never manipulate. There are 8 shifts that separate these two versions of you. Each shift will demand that you let go of a part of your old self. It will feel uncomfortable, almost like you're burning the identity you used to cling to. But if you stay until the end, you'll walk away completely different from who you used to be. You'll stop looking for peace from other people and start creating it within yourself. You'll understand the power of becoming untouchable. Because this world will break you if you stay soft forever. Unless you learn to be ruthless. And before we continue, drop this in the comments, "I will not break again." Number 1, stop giving yourself to the ungrateful. The first step toward becoming ruthless begins with this realization: your biggest weakness was never your heart. It was where you placed it. You have been pouring your energy into people who happily take your light but never return it. You kept helping. You kept forgiving. You kept explaining yourself. You kept hoping that one day they would finally see your worth. But they never did. Why? Because in the psychology of power, what is given too freely is often undervalued. When you give too easily, people assume you need their approval. And the moment someone senses that you need them, they gain control over you. That's how weakness is born. Not from failing. But from emotional dependence disguised as kindness. Niccolò Machiavelli once said that people are quicker to hurt someone who is loved than someone who is feared. The ungrateful take advantage of your goodness because they are not afraid of losing it. They know you will stay. They know you will forgive. They know you will excuse their bad behavior with thoughts like, "They're just going through something." But that is not compassion. That is self-deception. The truth is simple. People remember pain more than kindness. They respect consequences more than long explanations. When your mercy becomes predictable, your value becomes invisible. Every time you tolerated disrespect, you trained them to treat you as disposable. Every time you explained your worth, you silently admitted that it needed proof. That's why the good ones often get broken first. It's not because they are kind. It's because they confuse kindness with harmlessness. Some ungrateful people don't attack your body. They attack your guilt. They make you feel selfish for protecting your peace. They twist your empathy and use it against you. So stop believing you owe someone loyalty just because you once cared about them. Your care is not a right. It is a privilege. Give it only to people who consistently show you respect. Everyone else should feel your absence. Distance is protection. Indifference is power. Niccolò Machiavelli warned that people can be ungrateful, inconsistent, and selfish. His message was clear: never hand power to the ungrateful, because they will use it to weaken you. You must unlearn the idea that being good will automatically protect you. Goodness without boundaries is dangerous. Ruthlessness is not about cruelty. It is about correction. It is the moment you stop rewarding betrayal with access to you. When you stop answering every call, stop forgiving every lie, and stop explaining your silence, the ungrateful become uncomfortable. They panic because they can no longer feed on your reactions. That's when the power shifts. You become the one who decides who gets your attention and who slowly fades out of your life. The world belongs to those who guard their energy like a weapon, not those who waste it like a wish. Every bit of strength you give to the wrong people is power taken away from your future. Take it back. Save it. Rebuild yourself. Let them wonder what happened to your warmth. Tell them it disappeared the moment you saw the truth. Some people deserve your distance more than your devotion. Now drop this in the comments: my kindness has limits. Number 2, turn pain into power. Pain is one of the most honest teachers you will ever have. It does not flatter your ego. It does not care about your excuses. It exposes your weaknesses and burns away illusions until only the real you is left. The difference between broken people and powerful people is not how much pain they've experienced. It's what they did with it. Weak minds drown in pain because they keep searching for fairness. They keep believing the world owes them healing. But ruthless minds understand something deeper. Pain is currency. You can invest it and grow stronger, or you can waste it complaining. The people who rise after betrayal, heartbreak, and failure are not lucky. They are strategic. Instead of asking, "Why me?" they ask, "What is this teaching me?" Niccolò Machiavelli believed that you should never waste a crisis. Every painful moment carries a hidden opportunity to evolve. Pain is not punishment. It is information. Betrayal shows you where you trusted too quickly. Rejection reveals where you attached your value. Loss exposes the illusion that anything is permanent. When you start seeing pain this way, it stops being a wound and becomes a weapon. Most people cry to feel relief. Strong people reflect to gain power. When they are hurt, they do not chase closure. They create discipline. They study what happened. They learn from it. They grow. That is true resilience. Using the cruelty of the world as fuel instead of chains. Pain is like a forge. It shapes strength. When life breaks you, it is stripping away your masks and showing you who you really are. Don't run from it. Sit with it. Feel it fully. Because once you survive your worst pain, no one can threaten you with fear again. The moment you stop being afraid of pain, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability is power. When someone tries to control you with guilt or rejection, it won't work anymore. You've already survived worse. Niccolò Machiavelli believed that a wise person learns more from hardship than from comfort. Pain forces awareness. It removes illusions. You start seeing people as they truly are, not as you wish they were. You begin choosing logic over emotion. You become less reactive and more observant. When you walk into a room after surviving real pain, people feel it. There is a calm intensity around you. Your silence becomes heavy. Your eyes become steady. You no longer hide your scars. You wear them like armor. That is the moment you stop being shaped by pain and start shaping yourself through it. So the next time life hurts you, don't complain. Study it. Ask yourself, what advantage is hidden here? Because inside every painful experience is a seed of strength, if you are ruthless enough to plant it. Drop this in the comments, my pain builds power. Number 3, kill the need to be understood. The desperate need to be understood is one of the biggest traps holding powerful people back. You keep explaining yourself. You keep trying to prove your intentions. You hope that if you just say the right words, people will finally see your heart. But here's the hard truth. Not everyone is meant to understand you. Most people don't actually care to understand you. They just want to label you and move on. They don't listen to truly understand what you're saying. They listen to find your weak spot. The more you keep explaining yourself, the more information you hand over. And some people will use that information against you. In dark psychology, understanding someone deeply can mean gaining control over them. When people fully know your motives, your fears, and your desires, they know exactly how to manipulate you. That's why the ruthless choose silence. They let others guess. They let them assume. They let them project their own thoughts. And inside that confusion, they stay untouchable. Niccolò Machiavelli once said, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." And to truly command, you cannot over-explain yourself. Because explaining is often a defensive act. It shows that you still want approval. It shows that you still want validation. Real power does not beg to be understood. It simply exists. The most intimidating people are not the loud ones. They are the ones who don't feel the need to explain why they act a certain way, why they disappear, or why they changed. Their silence creates tension. That tension creates respect. Weak people beg to be seen and understood. Strong people are comfortable being misunderstood. When you stop defending every decision, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability makes people uneasy. People cannot control what they cannot read. That's why rulers, leaders, and strategists throughout history mastered ambiguity. They spoke less than they knew. They acted more than they explained. You must learn that same discipline. Every time you rush to explain your intentions, you hand over the blueprint of your emotions. You show people how to push your buttons. Being too transparent invites people to analyze and dissect you. And when something is dissected too much, it loses its power. Niccolò Machiavelli also wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." The wise stop justifying themselves early. The fool keeps talking until he exposes himself. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your distance. You do not owe anyone clarity about your silence. You do not owe anyone justification for your standards or your growth. Let them misunderstand you. Let them say you've changed. Let them call you cold. Let them assume you've become arrogant or detached. Every wrong label they place on you becomes another layer of protection. The moment you stop correcting them, you take back control. Because control lives in restraint. Silence is not weakness. It is controlled strength. It makes people nervous because they can't predict your next move. And when people feel uncertain, they become careful. That's psychological dominance. Think about the most powerful person you've ever met. They were probably calm, composed, and steady. They didn't talk too much. They didn't need to. Their presence spoke for them. You must become that kind of presence, a mystery no one fully understands, a storm that doesn't warn before it strikes. When someone tries to provoke you, let your silence crush their ego. When someone misjudges you, let them sit in their own assumption. Your truth is powerful. Don't waste it trying to prove your innocence. The people who demand explanations usually don't deserve them. The ones who truly value you will understand your silence without needing a speech. Power is not about convincing everyone. It's about being so sure of yourself that their confusion doesn't shake you. Once you stop needing to be understood, you finally start understanding yourself. Drop this in the comments, my silence speaks power. Number 4, detach, don't beg. Begging for attention, love, or closure is how powerful people lose their power. The more you chase someone who is walking away, the smaller you look in their eyes. And usually, they never plan to value you in the first place. Detachment is not coldness. It is control. It is the ability to walk away from anything that threatens your self-respect, even if you once wanted it deeply. Many people confuse attachment with loyalty, but they are not the same. Loyalty is strength. Attachment is dependence. The world has taught you that fighting for people proves you care. But in dark psychology, the one who chases always loses leverage. Begging, whether for time, affection, or attention, sends a message. And that message says, I need you more than you need me. And when someone feels that imbalance, exploitation begins. Niccolò Machiavelli wrote that a person who cannot master himself cannot master anything else. When your emotions control you, you are easy to control. The ruthless detach not because they have no feelings, but because they refuse to be ruled by them. When someone pulls away, they don't argue. They observe. When someone disrespects them, they don't beg. They disappear. Their silence becomes their sword. Their absence becomes their message. In a world where emotional manipulation is common, detachment is rebellion. Manipulators feed on reactions. When you stop reacting, you starve them. And when you become unreadable, you become intimidating. The real weapon of the powerful is not anger. It is indifference. Indifference is colder than hate. It lasts longer than love. When people can no longer predict how you will respond, they lose their grip on you. That's when your energy shifts. You stop waiting. You start deciding. The same people who ignored you will suddenly notice your silence. Because silence from someone who used to react loudly feels heavy. Detachment gives you quiet authority. The power to walk away from chaos without losing your peace. Niccolò Machiavelli believed emotional control was the foundation of strong leadership. Those who cannot detach will always be controlled by those who can. The ruthless understand that not everyone deserves access to them. Not every emotion deserves expression. Not every relationship deserves another chance. You must learn to withdraw your energy quietly. Close doors without speeches. Make your distance speak for itself. The more you detach, the more power you reclaim. You begin to realize that peace does not come from holding on. It comes from self-control. True strength is being able to love deeply, yet walk away the moment your self-respect is threatened. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself first. Because when you stop begging, you stop bleeding. And when you stop bleeding, no one can feed on you again. Drop this in the comments, I choose peace over people. Number 5, boundaries are your armor. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your peace. Without them, your life becomes open territory. Anyone can enter, take what they want, and leave you drained. You were taught that saying, no, is rude. That setting limits makes you selfish. But the truth is the opposite. Living without boundaries is self-betrayal. Every time you tolerate disrespect just to avoid conflict, you lose a piece of yourself. Every time you forgive without consequences, you teach people that your limits don't matter. Weak minds call that strength. Ruthless minds call it self-destruction. Niccolò Machiavelli once suggested that a leader who cannot guard himself cannot expect protection from others. If you do not protect your space, no one else will. The world does not always reward openness. It often exploits it. People test the limits you fail to enforce. Boundaries are not walls meant to block everyone out. They are gates. And gates only open for those who respect the rules. Boundaries are not cruelty. They are clarity. And clarity scares manipulators because it removes their control. When you calmly say, no, without guilt, you show strength. When you remove access after betrayal, you show that your value is not negotiable. Powerful people do not argue for respect. They demonstrate it through action. Forgiveness without consequences is submission. Mercy without structure creates chaos. The moment you stop rewarding bad behavior with your presence, you shift the dynamic. Some people will call you arrogant. Others will say you've changed. But the wise will see that you've simply grown. Niccolò Machiavelli warned that if you allow yourself to be deceived repeatedly, you share responsibility in the deception. People treat you based on what you tolerate. When you protect your space like a fortress, toxic people fade away. The noise reduces. Peace returns. And suddenly, you see clearly who truly respects you, the ones who honor your boundaries instead of fighting them. Boundaries attract quality. They push away opportunists. They make your presence feel earned, not easily available. To live without boundaries is to live without dignity. To live with them is to rule your own world quietly. The ruthless don't build walls out of fear. They build them out of wisdom. Because at the end of the day, the goal is not to be liked. The goal is to be respected. Every boundary you set is a clear statement. It says, this is where my peace starts. This is where you stop. And the people who truly value you will never pressure you to lower your guard. They won't ask you to remove your armor just to make them comfortable. They will respect your space and stand outside it with honor. Drop this in the comments, my boundaries protect me. Number 6, master the art of silence. Silence is a weapon. It's what powerful people use when words no longer carry value. Most people are uncomfortable with silence because it reminds them they are not in control. So they talk. They talk to fill the space. They talk to sound confident. They talk to feel important. But every unnecessary word you speak can be used against you. The wise understand something deeper. In a world addicted to noise, silence is dominance. Niccolò Machiavelli warned never to reveal all your thoughts, because the moment people can read you clearly, you become predictable. And when someone can predict your reaction, they can control it. Silence makes you unreadable. It creates mystery. It forces others to question themselves instead of analyzing you. The quiet person in the room often holds more power than the loud one begging for attention. In dark psychology, silence is not emptiness. It is strategy. When you stay quiet, people reveal themselves. They talk too much. They expose their fears, their motives, and their weaknesses while trying to figure you out. The ruthless understand this. They listen more than they speak. They observe more than they react. They act more than they promise. Weak people rush to prove a point. Strong people wait for the right moment. Every time you hold a pause in conversation, your authority increases. When you allow others to fill the silence, they unknowingly give you information. Niccolò Machiavelli believed power lives in perception. The less people know about your plans, the more they imagine them. And imagination often creates fear. Silence builds tension. Tension builds caution. Caution gives you control. Silence is not absence. It is presence intensified. You don't need to shout to be powerful. Your calm speaks for you. The loudest person in the room usually wants power. The silent one often already has it. Throughout history, leaders understood this. The less they revealed, the more people speculated. And the more people speculated, the more careful they became. When someone insults you, stay silent and watch their words hang in the air. When someone provokes you, don't react. Let their desperation expose them. Your silence will often speak louder than any argument. People expect noise. They fear stillness. Niccolò Machiavelli wrote that the wise act immediately, while the fool waits too long. The fool defends himself with endless words. The wise protect themselves with restraint. The moment you stop over-explaining, you move from emotional to strategic. You stop defending yourself and start controlling the situation. Power doesn't beg to be understood. It demands to be felt. When you master your silence, you master your power. Drop this in the comments: my silence controls chaos. Number 7, never show full loyalty. Loyalty is powerful, but only when it is selective. The moment you give loyalty blindly, it becomes your cage. Niccolò Machiavelli warned that people can be ungrateful, inconsistent, and deceptive. Expecting pure loyalty from everyone is setting yourself up for betrayal. Power belongs to those who know when to align and when to withdraw. The world is not moved by pure goodness. It is moved by strategy. When you show unconditional loyalty to anyone, a friend, a mentor, a leader, you risk giving away your independence. Over time, they may see your devotion as weakness instead of virtue. Predictability is dangerous in the game of power. Dark psychology teaches that loyalty must be calculated, not emotional. True strategic loyalty supports your growth, your protection, and your purpose. The moment it begins to damage those, it must be re-evaluated. Many people stay loyal out of fear of being alone, fear of being judged, fear of losing approval. But those same people are often the first to be replaced when they are no longer useful. The powerful don't attach themselves to people blindly. They align with purpose and opportunity. They understand that alliances change. They don't panic when things shift. They adapt. Your loyalty should never become your identity. It should be something you give carefully and withdraw when necessary. This isn't cruelty. It's realism. Niccolò Machiavelli advised never to depend completely on one person or one situation. Dependence weakens autonomy. And autonomy is the foundation of dominance. Never make your entire identity about serving someone else. Let people believe you are aligned with them, but always keep your inner freedom. The illusion of loyalty can sometimes be more powerful than loud declarations of it. It keeps others comfortable while you remain independent. History shows that leaders fall because they trust too deeply. Followers get eliminated because they serve too blindly. When people believe you will stay no matter what, they stop respecting your presence. They test your limits. They exploit your devotion. But when they know you can walk away at any moment, your loyalty becomes valuable. Give loyalty like a sword, sharp, intentional, and purposeful. Never give it like a gift that can be taken for granted. Loyalty without strategy is self-betrayal. Your ultimate allegiance must be to your purpose, not to people who may come and go. Becoming untouchable. Becoming untouchable is the highest form of power. It's the point where insults don't shake you. Betrayal doesn't break you. Manipulation doesn't move you. This is not about arrogance. It's about sovereignty. The world will always bring chaos. People will test your patience. Circumstances will not always favor you. The weak collapse. The fearful overreact. The unprepared fall apart. But the untouchable remain steady. Niccolò Machiavelli said that a wise person must first master himself. Because anyone controlled by others is not truly free. Real freedom begins inside. To become untouchable, you must stop chasing approval, love, and validation. Those things are unstable. When your self-worth depends on others, your peace becomes fragile. The world does not consistently reward kindness alone. It respects strength, discipline, and self-possession. When you stop needing others to feed your ego, you reclaim your energy. That energy becomes your fortress. The untouchable invest in growth, not applause. They build skills, not just image. They choose discipline over attention. They develop patience, presence, and quiet confidence. Their reputation is not built by being loud. It's built by being consistent. It's built by quiet authority that people can feel, even when nothing is being said. Dark psychology teaches that people fear what they cannot control. The moment you detach from expectations, from emotional reactions, from the need to be understood or loved, you become difficult to read. You become a psychological mystery. No one can predict your next move. No one can pull strings on your mind. You've removed the handles they used to grab you. The untouchable don't move based on emotions. They move based on strategy. Their anger is controlled. Their fear has no authority over them. Their desires are disciplined. Every reaction is intentional. Every silence carries meaning. You become the calm center while chaos spins around you. Storms that destroy others no longer shake you. Niccolò Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." And being feared doesn't mean spreading terror. It means having presence. It means having boundaries. It means people understand that crossing you comes with consequences. Being untouchable means people hesitate before testing you. It's the silent message that you are no longer available for exploitation. No betrayal can rattle you. No insult can define you. No manipulation can hook you. Because you are complete within yourself. You are no longer living as a reflection of other people's opinions. You are living as a product of your own strategy, discipline, and willpower. To reach this level, you must let go of the final pieces of dependence, the need to justify yourself, the need to forgive everyone, the need to be noticed or praised. You must rise above attachment, resentment, and longing for approval. The untouchable don't panic when validation disappears because they understand something important: external approval is temporary. It fades. It shifts. It changes with mood and circumstance. But self-mastery is permanent. When you anchor yourself internally, nothing outside of you can uproot that foundation. And once you reach that level, power becomes effortless. People feel it when you enter a room. They may not understand it, but they sense it. They either respect it or feel intimidated by it. What they cannot do is ignore it. You are no longer caught in other people's manipulation. You become the standard. You become the reference point. You move through life untouchable because you have mastered the only thing that ever truly mattered: yourself. Drop this in the comments: nothing can break me. The world will try to test you. It will challenge your patience. It will betray your trust. It will punish your kindness. It will show you that fairness is not guaranteed and that people can change without warning. For too long, you allowed others to control your peace. You gave your energy to those who didn't deserve it. You begged to be understood. You held on to people who were slowly draining you. But that ends now. You now have a blueprint to become someone who cannot be manipulated, exploited, or emotionally controlled. You've learned to stop pouring into the ungrateful. You've learned to turn pain into strength. You've let go of the need to be understood. You've detached from what weakens you. You've built strong boundaries. You've mastered silence. You've used loyalty with strategy. And you've stepped into the mindset of the untouchable. None of this is luck. And none of it is easy. Every step requires discipline. Every shift requires awareness. But with every decision you make in this direction, you remove the world's leverage over you. Niccolò Machiavelli once wrote that the wise act immediately, while the fool waits until it's too late. Today, you are choosing to act. You are choosing wisdom. You are choosing control. You are choosing disciplined ruthlessness. Not cruelty. Not bitterness. But controlled strength. This is the version of you that cannot be bent, cannot be manipulated, and cannot be broken. The road ahead will not be simple. There will still be challenges. There will still be betrayals. There will still be moments of pressure. But now, every trial becomes training. Every betrayal becomes education. Every obstacle becomes proof that you are stronger than before. The untouchable are shaped in fire. They are sharpened by strategy. They are protected by self-mastery. Stand firm in that truth. Walk through life with clarity. Move with composure. Become the person who acts without apology, leads without shouting, and rises without asking for permission. And as you continue on this path, understand this: the world will notice the difference, but only after you have fully transformed. If this message helped you, hit the like button. Share it with someone who needs this shift. Subscribe for more strategies that make you stronger, sharper, and impossible to break. You are no longer the version that bends. You are the version that rules. Drop this final affirmation in the comments: I am untouchable now.